Hi, my name is Trevor Klee, and this is a video on the GMAT Sentence Correction process. Now, in a previous video, I went over the process as a whole, and now I want to zoom in on a part of it. Now, in my previous video, when I was talking about the whole process, I focused on this main point, which was succinctly and correctly conveying the intended meaning of the sentence. Now, for this, now what I want to do here is I want to sort of hone in on the correctly conveying it, specifically with regards to grammar. Now, by doing this, I don't want to get you confused and make you think, oh, well, grammar is all of it. It's really not. So, and we're going to talk about this a bit more, but we're still starting with meaning, and then we're going to grammar. But for this video, we're going to focus on a grammar thing. So that means in my process, in which I first start with the meaning of the underlined phrase, and then I go to the grammatical issues, right? And I check them, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? One thing that I'm going to be always checking is parallelism. Now, parallelism is something that you use every day in your normal speech, but you're probably not aware of it. Or if you are aware of it, you're not sure how it works, and you just sort of say and write things and hope they're correct. So I'm going to talk about how to use parallelism correctly, especially how the GMAT wants you to use parallelism. So for this one, we're really just going to be focusing on parallelism and how it intersects with meaning. And for this video only, we're going to be ignoring the rest of it. In normal GMAT, we're not going to be ignoring the rest of it. That's going to be a big part of our process. For this video, we are. So we're going to be skipping over this. We're going to be gliding over this. And splits are, of course, still going to be important. So with that in mind, let's get into some parallelism. Now, first question. What is parallelism? Well, parallelism is just matching parts of a sentence as close as possible. So as I say in this, example here, he is a doctor and a lawyer. He practices law and medicine. He received a degree in medicine and a doctorate in law. So here I matched noun. Here I matched noun, and here I matched noun. And notice how closely I'm trying to do this, right? A doctor, a lawyer. Law, medicine. A degree in medicine, a doctorate in law. I'm really trying to match this as much as possible. So A is technically an article here. So article, noun, or noun, or article, noun, preposition, noun, article, noun, preposition, noun. You don't have to know these technical terms to realize how similar these are. A doctor and a lawyer are similar. I wouldn't ever say he is a doctor and practices medicine. It's bad parallelism. Now, why do I do this? Why do we do this in English in general? Well, we just want to clearly convey to our listener or to our reader that these are links to each other, or to put that better, these are linked to each other. I want to make it clear to my listener or reader, okay, things are connected. A doctor and a lawyer are connected. Law and medicine are connected. So that's really the point of this here. Now, for the GMAT, and also in normal English, when do we want to make clear things are connected? Well, when I have my 3 triggers. These are literally the only 3 triggers in the GMAT for parallelism: comparisons, lists, and conjunctions. Let's go through these one by one. Comparisons are pretty straightforward. If I use like or as or than, right? He is as strong as an ox. That's a comparison, right? He is, like his dad in that he hates broccoli, right? Or I could even set up like in comparison, like unlike his father, he enjoys dancing. So this is my comparisons. And so I set up my I set up my comparison and I use my parallelism to make it clear that I'm comparing these things, right? So, and this sometimes throws people off. So if I say he is tall like his father. So one thing people sometimes ask me is, okay, I get it. He, his father, cool, like comparing word. Why don't I need is here? Don't I need is for parallelism? Well, part of the thing about parallelism is if you make it clear to your reader that you're comparing these things, you don't actually need to repeat extraneous words. It would actually be redundant to do so. So I don't need to say he is tall like his father is, because I've set up my comparison clearly enough that I can just say he is tall like his father. Cool. I don't need to repeat is. Now, I also need comparisons in a list, or I need parallelism in a list. Why do I need parallelism in a list? Because it makes it clear that those things are in fact in a list. So for instance, I'd say he is tall, strong, and fast, right? This makes it clear that this is a list. Tall, strong, and fast. I can make even a more complicated list. Can do something like he runs fast, hits hard, and I don't know, smiles big. Runs fast, hits hard, smiles big. Cool. Parallelism list makes it clear all these things are connected. Runs, hits, smiles, fast, hard, big. So I set up my parallelism. I make it clear these things are linked. And like in my first example, I don't have to repeat any word. So, I don't have to say he runs fast, he hits hard, and he smiles big. That would be redundant. It's implied that these things are linked already. I don't need to repeat it. He runs fast. So I could put like this in brackets again. He hits hard. And, right, brackets. He smiles big. Cool. Now, last, I have a conjunction. Conjunctions are something I need my parallelism in. So people get weirded out when I say conjunction. They're like, oh, what's that? I never learned that. First of all, if you didn't learn it, you didn't watch Schoolhouse Rock, and I feel bad for you. As Schoolhouse Rock reminds us, conjunctions are linking words. Conjunctions are linking words themselves. They are words like, I'm going to write it up here. Conjunction are words like and, or, but, nor, yet. So they link words, phrases, and clauses, and they're always these short words, and, or, but, nor, yet, so, right? So in my examples here, right, I did and a lawyer, I did and medicine, a degree in medicine, and a doctorate in law, right? So that's my classic conjunction, and it links these things. So, I'm always going to look for parallelism around my conjunctions, and, or, yet, so, but, right? So these are things you already do in normal English. I just want to point that out. Like, I'm not trying to like blow your mind here and be like, everything you ever thought was wrong. This is something you already do. You probably just weren't aware why you did it or what the rules were around it. These are the rules. Whenever I'm saying that things are linked, which in the GMAT is in a comparison, a list, or a conjunction, whenever I'm saying that things are linked, I need to use parallelism to make it really clear to my reader that they're linked. I'm just like reinforcing this idea, things are linked. So if you've ever been mystified by parallelism, here you go. It matches parts of a sentence. You don't need to repeat things because it tells you they're linked, and there are 3 triggers for them: comparisons, lists, conjunctions. Done. That's it for parallelism. That is literally it. All right. So I'm going to go into an example, but before I do that, I just want to point out that I've taken these notes and also, basically everything I've done here from my guide on sentence correction, which is at gumroad.com/Trevor Klee. So if you're watching this and you're like, this is interesting, I'd like to learn more and see a lot more examples of this, please buy my guide. I would much appreciate it because I use money to pay my rent. All right, cool. So let's go through this example here. Now, we've got many of the earliest known images of Hindu deities in India date from the time the Kushan Empire, fashioned either from the spotted sandstone of Mathura or Gandharan gray schist. So, do I need parallelism here? Well, let's look at this a couple ways. First way, this is an example in the parallelism video, so I probably need parallelism here. But let's look at this in a different way. Am I trying to link things here? The answer is yes. Meaning-wise, I definitely am, right? So here, actually, my link here doesn't really make sense because I say date from the time the Kushan Empire, fashioned. But that's pretty clearly supposed to apply to images. The images were fashioned. The empire was not fashioned. So meaning-wise, I need to link these things. Grammar-wise, I already know I need to link these things because it says Gandharan gray schist, right? Or Gandharan gray schist. Or is a conjunction. I've linked these things with my conjunction. So we've got a meaning reason why this needs to be linked, and we've got a grammatical reason why this needs to be linked. So I already know this first fashioned is wrong because it's not clearly linked. How do I feel about the second thing, or Gandharan gray schist? I don't love it because I said either from the spotted sandstone of Mathura, and I got from the spotted sandstone, and then I just said or Gandharan gray schist. Now this is something I need to repeat because this or, right, doesn't, if we look up here when I don't need to repeat things, right, it's at the beginning, he runs fast, he hits hard. So I could basically just like cut this out, right? I could do something like that. Just say he hits hard. It would go straight from there. But I couldn't do the same thing here, right? Date from the time the Kushan Empire fashioned, and then I would have to skip out the either or, right? So it'd just be fashioned Gandharan gray schist. So it should say fashioned from Gandharan gray schist. So my parallelism from a meaning sense is sort of messed up here, and my parallelism from a grammatical sense is kind of messed up here. So A is out. Now here I've got fashioned from either the spotted sandstone of Mathura or from Gandharan gray schist. So this also doesn't work. So you notice how I set up my linking here with the word either or. It's a pretty classic way to set up like your linking. It's either this or it's that, right? Either this or that. That's my link. I'm assisting my conjunction here. It's what either does. It assists or. And here it doesn't make sense because it's fashioned from, and then I set up my link from either the spotted sandstone of Mathura. This should actually just go fashioned from the spotted sandstone of Mathura or Gandharan gray schist. Because this actually, the either is serving like the same function as the or. So the spotted sandstone of Mathura should just go straight to Gandharan gray schist. That would be my best parallelism there. And that's because I've moved this from to here. I went whoop. All right. So this parallelism is also messed up, and I still don't have a great place for fashioned. Still messed up. All right. C, same issue with fashioned, and it also either fashioned from the spotted sandstone of Mathura. This is even worse, right? Because I do either or, and this should be fashioned from the spotted sandstone of Mathura or fashioned from Gandharan gray schist. So this is even worse. So this is wrong. This is wrong. Here, D, we've got and either fashioned from the spotted sandstone of Mathura or from Gandharan gray schist. This is better, but so and is my conjunction. I'm introducing parallelism, but now I've got to ask myself, what am I trying to parallel with? And the question is, I'm not sure. And the answer is, I'm not sure, because I suddenly go and either fashioned, right? So shouldn't it be something like many of the earliest known images date from the time and fashioned? No. So this is messed up. This parallelism's messed up here. And then I've still got this mess going on here, where it should be either fashioned or, fashioned. So it should be like either fashioned from the spotted sandstone Mathura or fashioned from Gandharan gray schist. This is also messed up. So now E, by process of elimination, must be correct, but let's make sure we know why it's correct. So we've got a couple things going on here. Just cross that out so it's a little more clear. Got a couple things going on here that are really good. So many of the earliest known images date and were fashioned, right? Many of the earliest known images date from the time the Kushan Empire and were fashioned. So date and were fashioned, that works. That's good parallelism. So we've got verb and verb. One thing you should note here is English, really dumb language, right? Fashioned looks like it's a verb. Here it's not a verb. It's actually a passive participle, right? Which is why I can say something like the boy, let's say, carried by his dad, fell asleep immediately, right? So carried is actually, the boy isn't carrying anything. It's the passive participle. This is because English is dumb and we reuse words all the time. So fashioned here is the passive participle. It's saying the deities fashioned, right? Someone else fashioned these deities. This is passive, right? The deities didn't fashion anything. So that's something actually to notice here is passive versus past, because English is dumb. Seriously, we don't have this problem in like literally any other language, because any other language realized that passive and past should not look exactly the same. But English was like, let's make passive and past look the same, and then got this confusion. All right, so with that in mind, we've got our actual verb date, and we've got an actual verb were. Date and were. It's good parallelism. Date and were, good parallelism. And then my second parallelism around my second conjunction, or. So my first conjunction was and, my second conjunction is or, fashioned either from or from, right? So either from or from. That's good parallelism. So I've got two good parallelisms here. I've got date from and were fashioned. So date and were fashioned. Date from and were fashioned from. And I've also got like from the spotted sandstone or from Gandharan gray schist. So this is also good parallelism. So E is best, and E also clearly communicates the meaning that I'm trying to convey here. I'm trying to convey that this is the images of the deities date and were fashioned, and I'm also trying to convey that there's a link between the spotted sandstone of Mathura or Gandharan gray schist. Those are my two links. So its meaning works here and grammar works here. All right, cool. So that is it for this quick lesson on parallelism. I'll be going over some more grammar and sentence construction things in the future. So for now, if you're looking to get a head start and get a lot more examples of this stuff in action, check out my guide, gumroad.com/TrevorClee. Check out my website, trevorcleetutor.com. And then also, like and subscribe so you can get to see more videos. And thanks so much, and I will see you sometime soon.